Hello and welcome to Share Talk. I am Bonnie Hughes. Today we are speaking with Panthera Resources. They have gold and base metal projects located in India, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Panthera has been very busy advancing their projects. This week, the company announced that drilling has commenced on the Bassala Project in Mali. An IP survey has commenced on the Kalaka Gold Project in Mali, and drilling has commenced at Lobola Project in Burkina Faso. Here to speak about the company and tell us all about the prospects is Mark Bolton, Managing Director. Hello, Mark, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Bonnie. I'm happy to be here.
So you have a lot going on with your project. So let's start off with Bassala, which I understand is located 7 kilometers from 2 major gold mines. Please tell us what's going on with Bassala.
Sure. Bassala is one of 6 projects we have in West Africa. These are 4 that we have in Mali and Burkina. We also have a further 2 in Nigeria. As we announced this week, we are currently drilling at Bassala. A couple of weeks ago, we also announced that we're drilling at Bassala. Bassala is a fairly early stage project. We've pushed very hard at moving Bassala or accelerating Bassala since I joined as Managing Director in April last year. And we've gone through, this is our 3rd phase of exploration. We started with a geochem and geomag survey in Q4 last year, which we announced in Q1 this year. We quickly followed that up in a matter of days with an IP survey to try and vector in to these drill targets. And just this week, we announced that we had commenced a large drill program, which will be at least 9,000 meters, and will probably, subject to progress and success, could blow out to as much as a 12,000 meter program.
And has there been any previous drilling on that project?
Yes, there has. I'll just point to the slide here. Essentially, what the previous exploration, both Anglo Gold and our subsequent exploration last year has pointed out, is there are 2 major regional structures. We have this north-northeast trending structure and this northwesterly trending structure. The Kalana and Kandira mines are not far away. They're about here, 4 or 5 kilometers away. These are substantial mines of only 4 and 2 million ounces respectively. Historically, some RAB drilling was done by, as I said, Anglo, and they saw some very interesting results at this contact between the 2 major structures, where we got, if you like, 20 odd meters at +1 grams, including 3 meters at 4.5 grams, with the gold, with mineralized end of hole. I should point out this was RAB drilling, and the sole purposes of it really was to just take a geochem sample of the top of the basement. So it's merely indicative of what's there at the top of the basement. With these holes ending in mineralization, we're hopeful that with the current drill program, where the holes will be materially deeper, we'll get far more interesting intersections from this project. Besides the geochem and the ground mag and IP I pointed out earlier, you can see here, I'll just zoom in, there's extensive artisanal workings throughout the property. So these blue zones are pointing out the historical artisanal workings on the property. So it's a well mineralized property that has this very extensive mineralized zones of some 9 kilometers, with some rudimentary RAB drilling to date. So we're very excited by the prospectivity of this project and the scale of the opportunity that we see there.
And so could it potentially be open pit moving into underground at a later stage if you do discover enough mineralization?
Well, you never discount either or. It's a bit early to say until we see what the results are. But what we are observing is extensive mineralization at surface. So it'll come down to what what the draw results point to.
And what are you hoping to achieve on this project by the end of the year?
Well, this is our first major drilling campaign since I've joined as MD, so I hope great success. I have to admit of how would you say, having a little bit of gold fever, and so we'll be looking for the results as quickly as possible. As I said, it is a big program, so it'll take a few weeks to complete. My best guess is we've probably got at least another 2, maybe 3 weeks of drilling left. And then around 4 to 6 weeks by the time we start getting assays in. So with a bit of luck, we should start reporting our assays from August onwards. But by historical accounts and given its known mineralization, we're very optimistic.
Okay, and can you tell us a bit about the Kalaka Gold Project?
Sure. The Kalaka project is following a similar trajectory in terms of a scientific and systematic process to get it to be drill ready. The blue line you see here is the outline of the license. So we're only dealing in this section with about half of the license area. It's historically drilled, also interestingly by Anglo. What we did over the last, in the first quarter of this year, is we completed an IP survey, which we found was very effective in identifying zones of interest. The main prospect that was identified by, just zoom in here for you, by Anglo was what we call K1A. Okay, our best guess, thumbsuck, is this is about a 50 to 100 million ton deposit here. So you can see just by the sheer scale of the extensions of K1A, together with these other targets that have been identified by this IP survey. What the IP survey did show as well is that the number of the zones extended beyond the survey area. So we've chosen to go back in there and do another IP survey and fully capture these areas of interest. We'd like to be drilling this project in Q4, so we're racing to fully understand the opportunity set here and prioritize that drilling. So I'd say it's almost certain we'll be drilling this in Q4 this year. And targeting something very, very significant in terms of gold systems. I'll just zoom out and give you a flavor of some of the mineralization previously identified here. This is the K1A prospect, and you can see here 250 meter mineralized intersections ending in mineralization. Those are very substantial intersections, and you don't see those very often.
Excellent. And you are drilling on the Bassala Project. Just give us an overview of that.
Sure. Bassala is being drilled by our associated company, PAT.L, which we own about 45% of. Bassala Project is our most advanced project in our portfolio. There we go. Bassala is in the same region as our other West African projects in the southwest of Burkina. The project has enormous amount of historical artisanal workings. I'll just pull it up for you on the screen. The areas highlighted in red point out the historical artisanal workings. The black dots point out the historical drilling. So this project has some 500 odd holes and 65,000 meters of drilling already. The current program is focused on twinning the historical holes, and it's about a 6,000 meter program. So about half of that will be twinning. The purpose is to affirm or confirm the historical drilling. This will allow us to rely on that old drilling, those old drill assays, and use those old drill assays for the purposes of a resource calc, and ultimately deliver a maiden resource at Labola. The data set we've managed to acquire over last year, it's about $12 million US of replacement cost to obtain the same exploration data set we've secured. It's not only boring resource drilling. There are a number of targets that we'll focus on to expand the envelope of the previous drilling. So, for example, here there's a zone that is drilled to the north and the south, and we'll fill in the middle here. This area here, it ended in mineralization with very good results, some of the best results on the property actually. And we want to push that mineralization to the northeast. And we'll also look at some other regional exploration targets as well. It's a chunky program. It's about 6,000 meters of RC that Moidau's doing. They're about halfway through, and I think they'll be finished by the end of July.
Well, that's excellent. Thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing all the news on your projects going forward and speaking with you again.
Thank you very much for having me, Bonnie.
And thank you very much for joining us on Share Talk.